everybody. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time it is for you or you are. What are we on today? We're on Thursday. Sounds about right. I want to thank JakeFX1 for the 44-month reset. Hi. Welcome back, everybody. We're waking up. We're warming up. We're gonna get this running. I logged on to my warrior to, turn over like a mission table mission to recruit like one more dude. She's at 4 out of 20 for warrior because I don't have very many missions because I need to do some campaign. And I thought, you know what I said I would do this week is I said I was gonna level some alts through time walking. I was gonna do it. And then I realized that this character is level 76. Like she's over halfway there already. Yeah, we'll go here. So I decided it was time to stick her in a queue. Thank you. I did not spec her tank. Oh, that's Violet. I did not spec her as tank because I did not want to tank. I'm sure it's not hard, but I'm not interested. So I'm going to sit through a roughly 10-minute DPS queue so I can go in there, my arms spec, and I can hit my one button and we can call that good. Thought your gnome had a new hair. Nah, I was changing her mog around. I stuck a hat on her. It's I forget what they call it. It's like a peasant set or something. What do they call it? Countrywoman? Villager's country set. It was from the trading post. But I wasn't real happy with her pirate getup, so I was fishing around in my journal to see what else we had. And I thought maybe it'd be kind of funny if she's just kind of like, if her mog is just fed up, like she's just tending her garden, making soup for like 14 people, and she's just had enough of these barbarians, so she's grabbed a shovel/pick, which I only just now realized that's what that is. She's grabbed her multi-tool and she's gonna do something about it. Oh, thank you, Cowboy Kisses. Greetings all. Greetings day. Good morning. How is everything? How are we all doing? How's our weather? We're getting a little sprinkling of snow. We're getting like cute snow. We're not getting dramatic, sort of like problematic levels of snow. Hot coffee. See if I can not spill this. Looks like I could join the Inksy cult. Greetings. I figure I'm not really ready to be class campaigning again yet, but if I'm gonna be waiting for a time walking queue anyway. Hi, kitty, you want up? If I'm gonna be waiting. It's nice and warm up here. For my time walking queue anyways, we may as well be doing something, although this one I think wants me to go into a cave. I hate it when they're not marked on the map. Although you'd think that maybe the NPC that I just spoke to would give me some clues. Oh, no, I'm thinking of a different quest anyway. We're fine. What rank are you by now? I was checking this morning. I just nipped into 7th. Hi, do you want down? Because I'll put you down if you want down. You don't have to jump, honey. I just nipped into 7th. I'm about 15 points behind rank 6, and I'm only 5 points above rank 8, so we are climbing again, but not by very much. I got a good chunk of decor yesterday, largely from tailoring. It wouldn't hurt to do a little more. I'm gonna help you down. Thought you were 7 before. Tough competition. Yeah, I'm definitely not the only person that's grinding decor. The good news is that even if my rank falls, my number still, my like collected number is still going up, and it's still more things that I can use in my house, which at the end of the day is the journey we had of the friends of the all along, of the cute house. That's really what's important, right? Add-ons for furniture hunting, mainly homebound. I've been kind of trialing a few other ones. There are other add-ons that can have some things to do with housing and decor, but homebound is sort of my big go-to here. It's not enabled in this character for whatever reason. I guess this character wasn't collecting decor. But that's how I've been kind of like seeing what I have and don't have and where to pursue things that I'm still missing. There's a lot of foam on this coffee. This is good. Hazel likes a latte. I wonder where the friends we made along the way actually comes from. It sounds like it would be like a line from like a cheesy old episode of like Star Trek. Well, I can't say that. I've never seen Star Trek. Some cheesy old show. It sounds like it. Or maybe like a kid's show. Hey, hi, Duty Moore. How you doing? Work from home today and tomorrow. Oh, you started a new job on Tuesday. Going really well so far? Nice. 2 days of in-person back-to-back is a lot when you're used to fully remote. Yeah, I bet. Have you been to your new office, though? Do you like it? Pushing the last few professions up to make decor. Avoid Legion Engineering. Unless you have a bucket of sightless eyes, it may be cheaper to just buy the end item. Oh, man. Would I have extra... Let's see. Legacy. All warband. I wonder if they're even transferable. They might not be. Legion. No, they're not even listed in the thing. Sightless eyes. I probably don't. They are not. Yeah, no, that's gross. Steph the Bee, thank you for the 69-month resub. Appreciate it. Speaking of Legion Engineering, what are we saying? Legion Engineering. So I don't have either of the items. It's a Dalaran auto hammer and a failed failure detection pylon. Hilarious. Let me undermine exchange those. Dalaran auto hammer. Engineering is going to be kind of my last stop anyway. Oh, hey, time walking cube. If nothing else, I should do at least one time walking dungeon on the characters that I want to level. Ideally, I get them to 80, but, you know. Let's see. So, the cheapest auto hammer in North America is for 7,300 gold. And the other one was the failed failure detection pylon. But I want to make sure I don't tab out and fall behind here. I need to still be getting my experience. Know Your Meme says the film Stand By Me made it popular. I have the bucket on my main. They aren't transferable. Failed failure detection pylon. 9,500. So a bit expensive to buy both of them outright. And that 9,500 is the cheapest one in all of North America. On my server, they're 65k. Interesting. Well, that's a later me problem. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Long time no see. What are your plans for today? Good morning. I am leveling some alts and time walking, and I'm going to do some more decor collecting. I've been collecting furniture for the past couple of weeks, and I've got more to go. I need the last 2 items of tailoring. I unlocked them. I leveled the profession enough to get the recipes yesterday, but I never actually went and got the lumber and made them, so that's going to be on my list. Checking in on a couple of characters that need to do some more class campaign. I guess I can finish the step that I was like on. Oh yeah, we have to go down here. Never saw that one. I also have not seen that film. I did not see that one. I feel like I had a lot of sightless eyes, but I must have... Are they a bag item? Would they be in my bank, maybe? Maybe, assuming I didn't just assume that I would never need them again. Currency. I'd have to check on Inksy. I keep thinking that I am on Inksy because I'm on a gnome wearing a dress. I keep thinking this is my priest. It is not. I am on a warrior. So how you doing tailoring? Did you do the same for the rest of the professions? I'm in the middle of it. So I finished a few of them. I finished inscription and jewel crafting, notably. Inscription's long. There's a lot of recipes. But I have a few more left to go. I haven't done blacksmithing. I haven't done leatherworking. I have a few things sort of scattered throughout from them. So sometimes I'm buying things instead of leveling. I'm just kind of playing it by ear. You only get them from Dalaran Underbelly PvP. Oh, I'm mixing them up then. I was thinking of Argus. I thought there was something like a Sightless Island Argus. I'm probably confusing it with something else. My priest might actually have some of them from that because the Sightless Eyeless, because she was very slowly working on Rat Stallion, and it was that character that was doing it. And at a certain point, you don't really have anything, like you're capped on Sightless Eyes. You don't have anything to spend them on. And that's all the Rat Stallion farm is just getting them. Yeah, this really isn't your priest. Nope. She's a warrior. She's level 77 now. That's exciting. We started at 76. She's got a bit arrested. Time walking seems to be a pretty fast way to level right now, so I'm trying to take advantage of it a little bit. Fish with a bodyguard if you don't want a PvP. Yeah. I feel like I'm like a quarter. Like if they want you to do 20k sightless eyes, and I forget what the exact amount is, but if they wanted you to do 20k for the rat stallion, I think I did like 5. I'd have to check on my priest at some point. And show every furniture, expected it to be more. It seems to show everything, or at least almost everything. There might be a handful missing, but it's not. It wouldn't be very many. That's currently available. We're still in early access. There's going to be more with Midnight for sure. It still takes some time getting all of it though. It's the rare player that has all of it collected for the moment. I really have enough sightless eyes now I cannot possibly use anymore, and you would assume that number would be 0, but it's not. Oh man. Let's see. We are not quite almost done. It looks like we are, but there's more. I was surprised by the degree to which I ended up adopting the 1-button rotation in my alts for stuff like this. When they first added it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool for other people. And then anytime I needed to play an alt and I didn't feel like learning how to play the class, I was like, yeah, alright. Give it to me. Lay it on me. I'm good with that. It's nice for something like this. I'm probably doing more than I would have been without it. For this kind of like low effort level of content anyway. Speaking of not having seen something, have you watched anything fun recently? You know what I just started doing is I started watching for the first time in my life full episodes, like start to finish, of Saturday Night Live. I used to see like sketches on YouTube and whatnot, and I'd never actually sat down and watched a whole episode, and they had like a couple of old seasons on Crave, and then you can like get season passes if you want for the newer stuff, and I was kind of like poking around with some of the recent episodes and some of the older episodes, and I was very much enjoying it. It was kind of like watching YouTube without having to navigate to the next sketch. You know, they don't all hit, but I thought it was fun. I thought it was charming. It's like, you know, short form content without having to scroll. All right, now we're done the dungeon. Thank you, everybody. Some of those seasons are iconic. Even the ones that people say aren't very good, I feel like still have some really funny sketches like buried in them. There's stuff that would have never come up my YouTube algorithm that I was cackling at last night. The 1-button rotation is pure evil. It takes away a fundamental part of the game. Oh man. Pure evil is a evil. It's a take. Oh man. The root of Satan's power is the 1-button rotation. Can't go wrong with the original, not ready for primetime players. I was trying to get to know some of these new people they're adding in because, you know, maybe in 15 years we're going to be like, oh man, so-and-so got their start in SNL back in like 2025. And I'll be like, yeah, I was there. See what they're doing. Also, one of, not their newest cast member, but Marcela Hernandez put out a stand-up special on Netflix that I had been waiting for, and it came out yesterday, so I watched it, and I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was really funny. Chris Farley, incredible in the modern era. Love Kate McKinnon. Yeah. She's great. She is really great. Anybody had a start in SNL in the last 20 years? I mean, it depends on what you consider to be a start. I think that, like, movies in the comedy movie landscape and the comedy TV landscape have changed. So it's not quite the same thing as 20 years ago where somebody would be on SNL and then they would be in, like, 10 rom-coms because, the industry just doesn't make them like that anymore. I think you could make a good argument for Pete Davidson. He's been doing stuff. Gjallarhorn. Do I have to do something? I do have to do something. See why you're doing professions? A lot of the best furniture is in the professions tab. Yeah. It's also kind of nice in that it's a very methodical part of the furniture collecting. It's very, level the profession, get the recipes, farm the mats, make the thing, rinse and repeat. It's just kind of comforting. So that one time walking dungeon got me from 76 to 79. If I did one more, actually I should also go turn in TBC, so he would be going to Shatrath, I guess? Must have something to turn in Shatrath. Yeah, I do. David Spade's church lady was also a great SNL character. Here we go. I'm not going back to Skyhold. I'm going to Shattrath to turn this in. And then I think we're gonna get to lumber farming so I can make those last 2 tailoring items. I want to tie off tailoring pun. I want to tie off the last threads of what I was doing yesterday before I either level any more alts or finish leveling this one because she's 79.5, or pick another profession to get started on. I think I have an idea of what it was gonna be, but we'll cross that when we get there. Let's turn this in, get our time walking badges. I definitely need those. Hope you're having a nice day. Oh, thank you. I hope you're having a nice day. Apparently Jimmy Fallon did 6 seasons of SNL. I had seen some of the old video of him, and like I watched one of his earliest talk show appearances, not in his own show, but like on someone else's. And he was so young back then. I guess that's how time works, but like he looked, as we all do, he looked very different when he was like really young getting a start. Alright. I am missing this pet. I have the bear. I'm missing the pet. But I feel like we're saving up our badges. Not for the pet, but for mounts of other... Well, it's a nice pet, though. I do have like 2,000 bits. I don't know. Anyway, later me problem. We can take her back to... Well, no, our Hearthstone's on cooldown. We'll just log it right here. Kate McKinnon did 11 seasons. Holy cow. Partial to Mad TV. They had some great people who got their start there. I was surprised to find out Mulaney only did like 4 or 5 seasons, and he was just a writer. He was never cast when he was on. I like didn't realize that because he came back and he hosted a bunch and he was great. I am grabbing Dornick Fur Lumber, and I'm going to do it on this character, and that's what's going on right now. Loved Mad TV, forgot about that one. I don't think I ever saw that. Snow travel to the greater Denver area today. Very cozy. Nice. Yeah. Yesterday was definitely kind of like a cozy winter vibe snow day here. It was snowing heavily, sort of on and off. But we took Moose outside to just like go play in it because he loves the snow. And it was like pretty wet snow, so even though there wasn't very much of it on the ground, you could still like roll up snowballs and stuff. And Moose really likes destroying snowballs. He wants to catch them if you throw them, and if you're rolling up a big one, he wants to like pounce on it and rip it apart with his paws. Forgot about that one. It was more niche, also a sketch comedy show. Alex Borstein, who did Lois from Family Guy, got her start in Mad TV. Oh. Controversial, but I also haven't seen Family Guy. I'm aware of it. I don't live in a total box. But I don't know. Nothing never sold me on it. Sounds like a lovely day. It was really fun. Moose was really confused though because our schedule was all off because we normally like we go outside at certain times, we eat at certain times, and yesterday we were just kind of doing everything all the time at whenever, and he started to get kind of like unhappy that the routine was he didn't know where we were in the day anymore. And he didn't quite know what to do. I forgot to check how much Dornick Fur Lumber I'm gonna need. Oh, I can find out in Homebound, actually. Homebound can tell you what the materials are for a given profession craft. So we go tailoring, and we scroll, and we right-click. So we're gonna need 20 and then 30. Well, let's just get 50. I'm sure I have a few extra stockpiled, but if we get 50, then we'll still have a few extra stockpiled. I like getting my Dornick Fur Lumber in the Isle of Dorne. One, because the name matches. Secondly, I also like putting it over here so I can kind of like eyeball my amount that I have. There we go. And then secondly, because if I trip and fall on a mob that I want to kill, then it has a chance to drop me a crackling shard. I am still 7 out of 10 crackling shards. You know, maybe this wolf will bless me. You never know. It could happen. Far prefer Bob's Burgers, Family Guy. Played the main supporting character, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Sightless eyeball the amount you have? Yeah. Next time I'm on my priest, if I remember, I should check to see how many I have. And where I'm at for my Rat Stallion achievement. I know I'm not close for Rat Stallion. If I was anywhere remotely close, I would have wanted to finish it by now. I think I'm still less than halfway. I did work on it a bit. During like really quiet off seasons in the game, usually there wasn't really much going on down there. And you would find other people that were there, but they were also just like killing rares. They didn't really want to fight you either. For the most part. Doing mock runs in Raid for the first time since that event in July. Still doesn't feel like they drop enough items. Yeah, I mean, the event in July made them drop so many items. It was so good. Hard to get hooked in a TV show these days. Has to have something... Has to have that something to truly get me. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm hard to sell on shows. I will sit and watch, like... Not in a row, but, like... At one episode a night, I'll watch, like, 6 or 7 episodes of something, and then I'll just be like, I don't know. And, I could take or leave it. I could keep going, or I could just not. With a lot of them. I think sometimes it's just the apathy of being inside a little bit too much. Wonder what percentage of players actually wants to fight other players all the time. Do you consider things like too hot to handle a show to get into? I would consider something like that to be a show that if you... It's one of those things that you're either going to get a kick out of or you won't. And I feel like you will know pretty quickly based on how you feel about the concept, whether or not you're going to get a kick out of it. If someone's not into it, I don't think that making them watch a season is going to improve their opinion. You know, it's trashy reality TV. It is what it is. So if you can't appreciate it for that, which is fair, nothing says that you should, and a few things say that you shouldn't. If you can't appreciate it for that, then you're never gonna. I don't think honor level is a good approximation for whether or not people like to PvP, because a great deal of people, especially during Legion, were getting honor level via PvP world quests, and trying to grind honor levels that way because it was faster, and also because it was a PvP free way to get cosmetic rewards in the PvP rewards track. I think that if you look at, like, I don't know, what's an honor level that would be from somebody who is probably actually PvPing? I guess 200 maybe? Which is probably less people. Go on to someone do a courser off. Sad that I didn't play enough Legion to spam honor levels in it. I didn't do it because, like, I did do some of them, don't get me wrong. I definitely did some of those world quests, but I didn't grind it specifically to juice up my honor level. I don't remember why. Maybe it just didn't sound like fun to me. If they've got the forest or higher, chances are they're fighting other players. How many do I have? Courses. I have Azure, Bronze, Ivory. I do not have Forest. 40, 15, 70. Yeah, that would make sense because I'm at like 104. Oh, at 125 I would get a Forest Courser. If I ever got back into PvP, it's not like insanely far away. Started doing solo rated Battlegrounds queues. I've gotten a lead in 2 characters each season this back at 135. Oh, nice! I had completely forgotten that they had added those in. How are they? What's your experience in them? Are they fun? Haven't done any PvP since original BC. Did some comp stomps yesterday, and they really gave Arathi Basin a glow up in recent years. I haven't been in Battlegrounds in a long time. Even when I PvP'd, I didn't do Battlegrounds. The only reason I've done rated this X-Pack. Yeah. I liked Arena, but it's really only worth doing if you're playing with friends. It's such an exercise in pain and frustration to try to do it with randoms. You know, like in voice or even just random in like solo queue. Maybe because I'm a healer. Maybe it's more fun to do like random solo queue when you're just DPSing. But makes it feel much more accessible. How are we doing on lumber? We're about halfway there. 26 out of 50. Solo RBG healer, or solo RBG queue, you could queue as a healer plus a DPS. I've been doing that with a friend of mine. You know what I hate most about Arena? The 1 minute timer at the start. Yeah, it feels a little long. They want it there so you have chance to look at the enemy comp, adjust your talents, discuss your strategy. But when you've queued a bajillion Arena, which most Arena players have, you don't need that long to think about it. Some people that have a lot of talents to change, maybe, but even now you can have like the presets for it. Just to play a match the last 20 seconds. Got the let's chat message from my boss. Is it normal to want to throw up? I think so. It's probably nothing, but I totally understand the anxiety. Comp stomps at the very start of the War Within were good because the bots were better geared than the players for once. Were they winning? Run around a battleground, hope you don't get killed a bunch, never seriously PvP'd. Yeah, I had a lot of fun PvPing, but I think it was more the people that I was playing with than what I was actually doing. There was some level of satisfaction to having played long enough to actually feel like you've got some mastery of what's going on, because there's a lot of variables flying around in an arena match. So to feel like you have enough of an idea of what's going on to like handle yourself is satisfying when you get there, but it was always so much work to get there because there's so many variables. Well, so-and-so's using that talent, that means they don't have this talent. Flabby always knew exactly what was going on. Flabby could tell from like the first like animations their character took in an arena, like what their job is and how long they've been living at home with their family. Never lost a comp stomp. I've done 200 plus honor levels of it. They could actually kill you and you had to try. The real treasure of PvP was the friends you made along the way. It's true! The real treasure of PvP, the real treasure of Warlords of Draenor was the friends I made along the way. And you know, if there had been more like PvE content during that expansion, I might never have met them. Shout out to Splashran. I love Ashran. Not to play necessarily, but because it was so... It had so many like fiddly little like things that were obviously supposed to be super fun and then were just kind of whatever, because it just turned into like a huge everybody stands here and shoots at each other kind of thing. But the thing that I loved about it was that the community was ripping it apart. It was the favorite punching bag. And Halinka loved, like, it was obviously his baby, and no matter how much we bullied it, he would still go on interviews and be like really proud of it and really happy with it because he just just put so much love into it and it was really cute. Crazy to think how small changes like that could have impacted your life. Could have been very different. Have you seen the new epic BG in Midnight? Nah. I don't have a huge interest in BGs in general. Bird form is gorgeous. Don't think I've seen that before. Aw. This one, Raven. One of the Ravens. I think I just bought a glyph off the auction house. There's a few different sources for some of the new druid forms. I try to use different ones in each of my druids. They all feel a little bit unique. Love the High Mountain Druid Eagle form. I would love it more if it didn't have the High Mountain Moose antlers, but I understand that that's part of that's part of what makes it what it is. It's a nice bird though. I like taming those eagles. You can get normal looking ones as hunter pets, and I do sometimes. That's the best part. That part gives me Full Metal Alchemist. It gives me a Chimera made in a lab that wants you to kill it and free it from its hell. Weird nightmare territory. Speaking of strange dreams, I had one, and it was like a smaller section of a much longer dream last night. But there was a rat in my bed, which you would think would be scary, but it was kind of a cute rat, but it was like up to no good. It was stealing things. It was trying to haul off a large metal screw. And I don't remember what that was for, but I remembered that it was going to come in handy later, so I was like, you can't take that. We're going to need that for something. So I confiscated the large screw. It was flat-ended at like a metal screw. It was not pointy like a wood screw. And I was like, well, you gotta have something. So I took a cardboard roll, like from a paper towel or something, and I gave it to the rat, and the rat started happily shredding it into like a little pile of like cardboard fluff. And then I went, ah, yes. After he's done, I can compost this more effectively. And that was like the whole little section of the dream. It's like he couldn't steal anything, but I can give him some cardboard to shred. And it was a little inconvenient. He was doing it in my bed. Like, that wasn't very sanitary, but what are you gonna do? Hazel and a balanced druid? I wouldn't get too excited. It's just the spec I'm using to kill mobs if they hit me while I'm lumbering. Someone's been spending more time in Undermine than me. Used to think the Kultiran druid forms were ugly, but they've grown on me. Now I love them. I love the Kultiran flight form in particular. The water form is, the water form and the boomkin forms are kind of huge jump scares. Actually, do I even remember the aquatic form? Maybe I'm just thinking of the boomkin form. I remember making a Kultiran druid either in beta or at the beginning of BFA and getting thoroughly jump scared by the moonkin form. We have enough lumber now, so we can head back and dunk it into the bank. Who's making a bed in your bed? I've never met like a pet rat or a friendly rat, but I imagine that we would get along. I don't want one for myself, but I think they would be fun to meet. Although I want to meet lots of animals, assuming that they don't mind meeting me. Kultiran boomkin has large stumps poking out of its back, which makes it look weird with a staff. I figured it was gonna be... Well, now I need to... Well, no, I guess I'm not in a Kultiran right now. I've kind of forgot what it looks like. Let's craft those tailoring items. We're gonna make an Undermine beanbag chair and a framed Dornagal rug on this guy. One day I will have them again, but I understand not everyone is a fan. I think they're cute. I think mice are really cute too, but that doesn't mean I want them in my house. It does mean that if I ever need to exterminate them for my shed or anything like that, I'm going to have to delegate my bloody work because I'm not going to have the stomach for it because they're still too cute. Oh, I sold, not all my bags, but some of my bags. That's good. I needed to sell those bags. That's good. Also, funnily enough, the 2 bags that I did not sell is the exact amount I would need to send to my priest if I wanted to upgrade her capacity. She has 2 bags that are not quite as big as these, so call that good. Sometimes mice decide to end up in the catio, and the cats like to bring them in the house. Very gentle and curious, kind of like mini dogs. Yeah. Some of the neighbors have outdoor cats, and you'll see them hunting mice around the area, which I can't get too upset with, because they, because I got mice that shouldn't be in my shed. What am I doing? I am making, and I'm getting the materials to make the Undermine beanbag chair, which we actually have ready to go. Make that one first. This one's very cute. It's like a zebra print beanbag chair. And then we're gonna need for the framed rug just some ink and stuff. Nothing, no big deal. It's what cats do. Legion Remix, they made the hook staves be invisible unless unsheathed, but they fixed it. Back to looking weird again. Not too bad. I like this rug. I'm interested to see how big it is by default. Cats often don't kill the mice before they bring them in the house, so that's always a fantastic catch. Oh, I would not like that. I don't have an outdoor cat, and I don't think I ever will. But that would be an unhappy time. I would be like, listen, you caught it the first time. This is your job. You are evolutionarily prepared for this. I have been prepared to stand on a chair. Get to it, kitty. We have rabbits at my work. And they're cute, but the mess they make is otherworldly. Their bite hurts like the dickens. Rabbits at your work? Like outside? On the grounds? Or like in the office? Biting people? Oh, we had mice that were coming into our house. We had a cat that would eat them, leave their heads at the entryway, I assume as a warning to other mice. It's a bit grim. Cat used to bring snakes in, animals of which I am petrified. Alright, let's go to my priest. Also, a little happy dance for my tailor over here. He officially did it. He's done. We have all the tailoring stuff for the moment. No pet rabbits, work for a nursing home. Oh. Didn't know rabbits bite, new fear unlocked. I think most things that have teeth can bite. And some things that don't. Fish, some fish can really get you. I enjoy his tailoring grubs with his slippers. Alright. Well, he's done. I'm gonna pop on Inksy because I want to try out those new things that I made in my house. I want to check on my sightless eye situation. And then have a think on if we're gonna start profession or if we are going to continue time walking leveling. Are you buying or farming Black Lotus? I don't know yet. Haven't gotten there. We will cross that bridge when we get to it. Lived in areas where rabbit outbreaks have happened and they reproduce and take over an area fast. There used to be, and I'm not so close to this anymore, but there used to be controversies because the University of Victoria, which is like the big university on Vancouver Island, has a beautiful campus, lots of grassy rolling hills, that kind of thing. And they have always had bunnies. There's always been like a colony of feral rabbits, or a lot of them. There's always been like a pretty large rabbit population that lives there, and they pretty easily get super out of control. So then at a certain point, the school or the city or someone needs to step in and do something about it. But you try telling university students that you're going to come to their campus and kill their baby bunnies or sterilize them or whatever it is you're trying to do. Like, it's a mess every time. Oh dear. I am 36, so that one's 34 slot. Did that work? No, because it's in that bag that I'm trying to replace. You can just hot swap bags, but your old bag just can't be, or your new bag cannot be within what the old bag was. Aw man, I'm switching it out for a Goblin mini fridge. That's such a cool bag name. But it is only 34 slots. Meow wow. So, to the house. Sweetie. What's up, Buttercup? Sometimes she just wants someone to chat with her. It's her speech hour. Okay, so the beanbag chair. I guess these are kind of indoor things. Let's pop inside. Sometimes I feel like I should be changing up things in my yard or my house. Not because I don't like them the way they are, but just because just to keep it fresh, you know? I don't want it to feel stale. I feel like if I don't change anything for a really long time, it's going to feel kind of abandoned. I feel like a lived-in place kind of like slowly shifts over time. I do meow back at my cat. Not every time, because that would take up a good half hour of my stream. Oh, the beanbag chair is not that big. Here, we'll stick it over here. The framed rug. I moved this to this side, and I don't like it over there. I'm putting it back where I had it before. supposed to be kind of a sink situation. That looks nice. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'll do the what's up head movement to my cat and he would jump in my lap every time. Kira has a few words like that are specific, depending on what it is that she's trying to say. But meow wow, like the meow is definitely like a hello. That's her greeting meow. And I would do that to her in the morning. And then the response to a meow wow, if it's not another one, is a and that's just kind of like a hey, good to see you. Because she's real cute. I want to move this whole thing. Do I? I want this to be off-centered over that. This one we can just sort of scooch there. Anyway, that's not what I came in here to do. I didn't come in here to reorganize my half-done kitchen. Although I'm kind of tempted to stick some cobwebs in the corner of my pantry over here. Not a big one, just a okay, that is kind of a big one. Just like in between the kegs, you know, like stick it over here and then yeah, it's just a little dusty down there, that's all. It's totally not a restaurant kitchen. It's the Pandaren shelf thing with the big counter that makes it look, also the takeout is probably not helping, making it look like a restaurant kitchen. It only has one table. It only has one dining table. Oh man, it needs more windows. I was gonna put another window here. I just needed a matching one. Anyway, where's my new rug? It's a framed Dornagal rug. Ooh, that's nice. I like that. Ooh, that's gonna go somewhere. Not in here, necessarily. Might be a nice entryway rug, to be honest with you. Could stick it, like, actually in the entryway. We could kind of have it here. I have, like, a T-shaped room that will eventually just be my, antechamber, you know? Like the... It'll, maybe some, like, coats or shoes or something, if they ever give us those. And then we can have, maybe, like, a little light. Little ceiling light. I want to stick one right in the middle here in the entryway. Not this one, although I do love this one. It's got to go somewhere eventually. That's pretty small. I suppose we can make it bigger. Yeah, something like that. I like that it's like a little wrinkled. It's not laid quite flat. Okay, currency. There's no search tab here, is there? I have 904 sightless eyes, which is not none, but it's not tons either. Nice fire hazard you got there, right? Hate the bump in the rug. I always go to use it and remember. Oh, that's funny. Have you seen the buttons? I have seen the pet talking buttons, yeah. Ask for food or water or whatever. Something I don't get is sometimes they'll have a button and they'll have it say a rude word. And then they'll be like, look, my pet is just saying this rude word to me. And maybe the pet is feeling sassy and has figured out that's what the button is for. But like, you can't be surprised your pet is swearing at you when you voiced the button that allows them to do it. Like, it's those always felt a little contrived to me. Now cat just hammering the food button. That makes more sense. I am going to look at what's next furniture-wise. Now that we're finished with tailoring, feels good. So tailoring, inscription, jewel crafting, enchanting, all done and dusted. So up next, it's either going to be alchemy or it's going to be leatherworking. The apothecary's work table is the one that takes 8 black lotus, which are recently being sold for up to 6,500 per. If we pull up our Undermine Exchange here, and we look for the apothecary work table. It looks like the cheapest one on it, North American Realms, is 65,000 gold. Probably because the material price is so high, people aren't willing to sell them for less. Man. This priest has alchemy. I had begun leveling old alchemies because this is my main, so she's going to keep alchemy. It kind of made sense to do it here. Even though she doesn't have an alchemy racial. Her classic alchemy isn't particularly leveled. Yeah, so the materials cost 57k alone. Black Lotus. I mean, I would need to level the profession first before I even worried about that. I guess doing it early would be kind of nice. The table looks like this. It's like an old-fashioned kind of undead style of apothecary table. I don't know if I want it for its own sake, but I might want it as a status symbol now that everybody knows how freaking expensive it is. Let me look into the Black Lotus thing. Let's wowhead. Let's have a little read. So, Black Lotus is an item. 6,500 on NA, 5,800 in EU from patch 1.1. It can be herbed in the Eastern Plaguelands from Blacker Lotus, apparently. It can also be picked in Still's Blasted Lands, Eastern Plaguelands. Someone says they share spawn points with Dreamfoil in Silithus or Blasted Lands. Randomly spawn in the same spot randomly after herbing a previous herb, which is kind of awful because other people are going to be flying around looking for it, so there's very much a chance that someone else will come back and get it. Did a few laps around Silithus, found 2. Somebody ticketed about it and got a GM response. Which is funny. And it's just people complaining that they've done 7 laps of Blasted Lands with no Black Lotus. Old Blasted Lands is location for Black Lotus. In 2023, go to Light's Hope Chapel, Field of Mutant Black Lodi, and Black Lotus spawns there on occasion. I'm sure that's just camped. There are no low pop servers right now. I bet for the sake of something like this, yeah, there's probably competition on basically every server, war mode or not. Interesting. Skip the table first time through trying to figure this out myself. Yeah. I can see the appeal in skipping the table the first time through. I'm sure the rest of this is not that bad. I think I want to do alchemy. I think I want to kind of go through and finish, because I have some of it done. All of the newer stuff is done. So I think I want to try and fill in everything. I will level classic alchemy. I'm probably not going to make the table today because of the Black Lotus problem. We might poke around at that later, but we can at least make the Stoppered Black Potion. That's not so bad. So we're going to need 240 points of classic alchemy. This might get kind of expensive. Old herbs are kind of expensive. And you need a lot of them for alchemy. Profession leveling. Vanilla alchemy. Let's go to Stormwind, huh? Tried camping it at server reset. There were like 6 people there when I logged in. It might be something that becomes easier to get later. As people kind of like move on and do midnight stuff. I don't know. Seems like a mess. Let's start with this though. By far the best spot. Alright, so from 1 through 155. We're going to be making... Goblins do better alchemy. There's an argument to be made for take a goblin character to do the alchemies that I don't have yet. So, like... If I look at alchemy... classic... Northrend... It's just a question of if it's going to annoy me later to be, like, partly done. Shadowlands and on we have. Kultiran I'm, like, halfway through. Everything on main is nice long term. Yeah. I could definitely save myself some gold now by doing some of these on a goblin instead. But it will make me crazy if I'm trying to figure out later where a thing is. I think we'll just suck it up. And do it on this character. So the alchemy lab is like over here, I think. At least it's not like tailoring where we have to find 2 trainers. Besides, it's not 15 points anymore. I think it's only 5. So let's start with... What is my classic alchemy anyway? Is it at 1? It's at 7. 60 piece bloom and 60 silver leaf or so. I'm just gonna get enough. Holy, this is not gonna be cheap. Alright. We have a lot of points to go, and these herbs are not where they used to be. It is kind of nice that, you know, if you're leveling a fresh alt. Oh, I wonder if part of the problem is that nobody's leveling fresh alts out in, like, Elwyn Forest anymore picking peace blooms. Like, you're leveling an alt in, like, Remix or, you know, Exile's Reach and then Dragonflight or something. I feel like there's probably fewer people in the old zones to begin with. Anyway, we want a bunch of minor healing potions. And then we're gonna add Briarthorn to make lesser healing potions. Eventually, everyone will get funneled into Dragonflight anyway if they're new. Yeah. I haven't leveled an alt through just like old zone questing in such a long time. I'm following the guide on wow-professions.com. These are the guides that I've been using for all of my profession leveling. Definitely a great resource to have. They have them for every profession, every expansion. Sometimes if you are looking at a material price and you're like, that's way too much, it's worth kind of like sniffing around your crafting window to see if there's anything that might be cheaper. Might be a better thing to level with. But for the most part, it's dead on. Typically speedrun Burning Crusade dungeons and time walking because they're pretty quick. Yeah. Speaking of which, I want to finish leveling another character or 2 today. We could get on, we could do another dungeon on that warrior. 1 more would get her to 80. I think part of my problem is that I don't feel like I'm gonna... It's hard to feel like you're gonna benefit from having another 80. Like, I don't really know what's in it for me. Aside from just not having them be awkwardly at 76 anymore. So that's pretty good. We'll get our Briarthorn, which I bet is gonna hurt. Let's get about 50 of them. It's nice having bodies around the world. 10 gold each. About 500 gold here. I am going to set that crafting. And then I think I'm going to get up for a sec while it's working on that. BRB. Okie dokie, let's see. How are we doing? We are up to 106, and we only need to get to 240. It does feel kind of bad to level this, knowing I'm only gonna currently make one of the 2 items that we could do, but, you know. Maybe one day they'll, like, boost the spawn rate or something, I don't know. So for 100 to 110, they want me making elixirs of wisdom. I'm already at 106. $28. Yeah. Might be able to do better with this. 15. Yeah, a little bit. Well, pretty close, but similar. Blackmouth oil. Oily blackmouth actually are pretty cheap, maybe? Yeah. Give me like 10 of those. Just for the moment. And then 5 swift thistle. Don't know if there's a benefit to having lumber be soulbound, but I hope we can eventually sell an auction house. It would be different than it is now, that's for sure. Okay, so we're gonna make some blackmouth oil. And then we're gonna make 5 of these to get up to about 110. And at 110, we can start making regular healing potions with just bruiseweed and briarthorn. Assuming that that's not cheaper than this anyway. Healing potions. The window always likes to default back to the highest expansion version. So 17 gold per point. Yeah. Alright. How many of those do we want to make? 33 of them. Hate that it does that. It was making me crazy in tailoring. I kept losing my place. The other thing that I don't think they've fixed yet is if you are tracking a decor recipe and then you log off and you log back on, as we often do to like go get lumber or something, it's no longer tracked and you have to search for it again and bring it up again. Because I like having them tracked because it makes it easy for me to search for the materials, but I almost always end up needing to do it twice. This character is holding a bunch of her gold, so I'm probably going to be able to do some decent leveling without really noticing how much I'm spending too much. We'll see. It's possible I'm going to hit a window here where it's going to get kind of expensive. We're going to need some strangle kelp for sure. I made strangle kelp sacks, and I put one in my greenhouse, but I didn't actually, I don't even remember if I needed strangle kelp for it. I might not have. It was for Outland alchemy, of all things. So, now that we're 140 or so, a couple points passed. Mana potions, lesser mana potions. Really like the Oceanside and Westfall for snaggle kelp if you're going to farm it. Yeah, we'll see how much it costs. And see what we're going to be making here. So lesser mana potions are 36 gold a pop. 54 minor accuracy at 30. Slightly cheaper. Fire oil seems like a good idea for the moment. Let's do that. That's 14 gold per. And I might be able to use some of it. We're going off script a little bit. Firefin Snapper. 24 gold. What did I say this was going to be? 36. Yeah, no, it's still worth it. Let's do 7 by 14 of these. Get up to like 150. I do like farming strangle kelp on a druid in swim form. Feels kind of fun. They're not usually as close together as you want them to be, though. And then for firepower, if we just get King's Blood, we can do that. Although I think if I'm going to do that, I may as well make some more fire oil if it's still yellow. Because I'll be able to use it and not have to spend twice. Classic alchemy. There's probably an add-on that bypasses or overrides that behavior. It's maddening. Pretty good. It's fun that these fish are so valuable. You could still get points out of it. But I don't know how many of those I'm even gonna need. Let's get... Might even be able to sell the extra oil. Get a few more of these. I don't know how I would do this without the Brutosaur. It would take me 10 times as long. It would be a lot. Maybe when I get to 160, this will turn green. I've not found this out on if it exists. I would love to know. Oh yeah, it did turn green. You just hang out near an auction house. But then you need to keep running back to the trainer. A lot of mailing bank alts, yeah. Would take way longer. So, at 155, we were able to start making greater healing pots. At 175, we can start making mana potions. We're nearly there. Oh, I probably should have been making these instead. Oops. Those would have been way cheaper. Oh well. Hello, Hazel. Hello. Make a big list, buy everything at once. I just, I'm going off script a little bit because I figured I could maybe save a little gold, although clearly I'm not doing a great job of it. 19. Because these are cheaper. Let's see, how many of these do we want to do? Let's just do 25. How are you doing, Lunethra? How's your week going? Make a couple of greater healing pots. Still getting me a point per 20 gold a point's not bad. Arc Raiders is draining my soul. Last when I did it, there was less reason to go off script. Prices hadn't gone crazy. Yeah. They've definitely gotten a bit wonky. I'm still getting a point for every single craft, even though it's yellow. That's kind of fun. I've played beta a little bit. I couldn't tell you the first thing about Holy Paladins, though. If they're anything like Holy Priest, then they're probably having things simplified a bit in ways that people are concerned about, but ultimately optimistic. We'll see. It's hard to say until we're actually in it. We're looking at these changes in kind of a vacuum. But Holy Priest or Holy Paladin is something I almost never play. I have very little experience in it. 47.65. Somebody wants those elixirs of fortitude. They must be a material for something. Do another scan. Just to get kind of our prices up to date here. I'm using just the regular auctionator profit indicator to kind of find out A, how expensive a point is, and secondly, whether or not something may be profitable. You might be able to sell it for something. I did not play old school RuneScape. Or new school RuneScape. I've played no RuneScape. Let's see. 62, 42. So those are in the auction house. Not as many of them though. I wonder why. They might be an item for leveling something else. We're at 194, which would normally be Elixir of Agility. So let's just... 62 gold a piece though. I wonder if it's expensive because it's the thing that's recommended in the guide. 26, 18. These are still 18 per. Thought or interest, trying old school RuneScape out. I can't say that it's crossed my mind. I don't think I have any gaps in my life that would be solved by another game. I think I have a sufficient amount of game that I'm established in and comfortable playing. Let's buy a bunch of these. When I was younger, I used to be more flexible and curious about other games, but I think I reached a point where I kind of like what I like. No, that's fair. That's fine. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure there's not a thing wrong with it. I was gonna make which ones? Life-Root, King's Blood. Oh yeah, I was gonna make these ones. See if we can get any more points out of this. Mainly play old school RuneScape, not much else. Yeah, it's nice knowing what you like. They're green now. That's no good. That's not gonna work. Let's just get some Strangle Kelp. Going back to older games instead of trying new ones. These are spendy. Have you thought about changing from Windows to Linux? Not seriously, no. The factor that you cannot underestimate when thinking about stuff like that is how fundamentally lazy I am. I have to be pretty inconvenienced or unhappy with something for me to put forward the effort of learning anything new. I am pretty resistant to change. Which I think is why Windows is still so successful. Inertia. Alright. We are up to Alchemy. Classic Alchemy. 200. We just need 40 more points. And it looks like these ones are actually... Wild Steel Bloom fell off. Which is funny. It didn't used to be that cheap. These are also all pretty expensive. 46 gold. 42 gold. Is that really my best point? We can try lesser invis pots for a bit. 26 gold a pop. Steel Bloom is not that common of an herb to find, so it's surprising to see that it's that much cheaper than everything else. It's probably just because it was more expensive in the past. It's probably not recommended that much in this guide. We're getting there. We just need 18 more points. She's so cute in her her alchemy getup with the little... I feel like this is a terrible place to keep potions on your hat. I feel like it's not good. Maybe she functions as her own centrifuge, and whenever she needs to spin them, she just starts pirouetting really fast with them on her hat. Oil of Immolation. 40 gold a pop. 50, 40, 40. Ooh, it gets expensive up here. Khadgar's Whiskers? Really? I guess it's mainly the gold thorn. Uh, 205. Greater defense is what they wanted. Nine more of these. Never do the math about how much gold you spent unless you like pain. For me, I know I'm gonna spend it. And it is best for me and my own happiness and sanity to just not add it up. This stoppered black potion is gonna have to go in my house somewhere. They're pretty good. Only need another 18 points. What about superior healing potions? Sungrass and Khadgar's Whisker. Oh, those are cheaper. Okay, thank goodness. We're out of the Goldthorn era. So how many of these did I say I needed? 16? Yeah. Let's do that. I think we're nearly there. This is the longest one. The most points that you have to get to be able to make anything. Goldthorn's been pricey even before decor. Yeah, it has kind of the same problem of Steel Bloom of limited spawn points. It likes to spawn like on little hills in a few different zones, and of course no one's out there anymore unless they're specifically doing something funky. Because those later classic leveling zones, even if you were starting to level, like you'd be done leveling before you ever got to them. Oh, 1 point short. One more point. 239. I am managing my decor addiction by putting ugly things at the end of my list, and it's not accomplishing much. Yeah, I know what you mean. I've been putting expensive things. No thank you. Haha. Oh, I guess Purple Lotus and Black Lotus I'm probably mixing up. So maybe. I just need one more point. It doesn't really matter what we do here. Not that one. Probably this one. Literally just one. One singular Khadgar whisker. Just walk up to his chin and go boink. Hinterlands, sometimes a Rathier gets spots for it. Happy with how my houses turned out. Made a nice bar and a second level. Still need to think of what I want to do with my Alliance house. I gotta at some point figure out how I'm gonna finish my kitchen without making it feel more like a restaurant kitchen. Alright, let's look into what we need to do for the stoppered potion. Obviously the table, the apothecary table is gonna suck. That's like 50 plus K worth of materials, so I don't think we're gonna do it for the moment. We can look into farming it later, but the potion, we actually have the lumber all handy. We just got to get 2 dye and then 2 dark runes, and we can have one of those bad boys. I don't even usually buy the dye, but if any of it's here, it's not. All right, never mind. I'm too lazy to walk across the street to the tailoring shop. Black dye and dark runes, I think, is what we were talking about here. It does feel weird to leave a gap, but we'll go back for it later. One stoppered black potion. Lovely. What's next? So I've done Outland Alchemy. I need Northrend Alchemy. There's 2 items there. A Sandlane Blood Orb and a Plague Canister. So off we go. To Northrend. Trying to fill rooms and maintain a cozy vibe is a challenge. Ended up sectioning my rooms into smaller ones. That's exactly what I did too. I definitely bit off more than I could chew when I first sort of selected my room size, and I ended up deleting some, shrinking others, and then partitioning another one. My living room and bedroom are both the same medium room that I've just kind of carved off, and that way it let me I was able to carve off like a walk-in closet and a bedroom, and then the living room was kind of oddly shaped, which I appreciated. I wanted something that was less just like Blanc, you know? That's a word. Blanc. I'm going to Northrend. That's where I'm going. Maybe maybe we take a time walking break. Maybe we hop back on. I've got a level 79. I've got a 79-year-old warrior. Poor girl's nearly finished. I want to redo my entire house. I wonder if I'll end up redoing mine when midnight comes out. Rebuild, yeah, just completely reset everything and start it fresh. I'm gonna have so many more things to work with by then. Oh, this would go so much faster if I was willing to tank it. Doesn't even mean anything, does it? I have heirlooms or something. Let me see. I don't, though. Never mind. Let's just go back to arms. Because I have one two-handed weapon, and that's it. And we'll just do one time walking dungeon. Because that'll get her done. That'll finish her up. Finished Outland Alchemy. Need the discovery recipe for Flask of Blinding Light so I can craft the decor. I don't want to spend 1,000 gold per piece, but it may be necessary to save my sanity. I think I bought them. I think that's what I did. Hi. Hello, Fan. How you doing? There's a few instances in profession leveling so far where I have gone out to farm like a recipe, but not very many. I was trying to farm recipe ranks for Legion Alchemy. Or Legion something. Jewel crafting maybe, because I wanted to make things and I didn't want to... You don't have to use as many materials to make a higher rank recipe. But it was a project. Legion Inscription. Maybe both, actually. And hey, while we're waiting for her last time walking queue to pop, I've been getting a little bit of her Order Hall campaign done. It's not too bad. Even if we're just recruiting a couple more followers so that she can send out more missions. And also getting some extra order resources. We're gonna need those. There we go. We got Himdall. He's so tall. I should call him Himtall. So we got a couple of missions, and then they want us to do Maw Souls as well. I should check in with the researcher. There may be research I can start on this guy. This character. I'm always assuming that my warrior character is a male. It's my character. I made her. Why am I making this mistake? Reduced mission duration. That sounds pretty good. Doing solo. Doing solo. Usually. Usually doing solo. Good, just a guild dungeon event. See if that new guy can take on any of these campaign missions. Oh, I have a few people available. I need more, I need to recruit more troops. Obviously, these ones are... there's one available. There's another recruiter, and I need to learn where they are. Oh, they're on either side of the thing. That's nice. Holy smokes, that's nice. Although she doesn't seem to want to talk to me, so maybe I haven't unlocked the ability to do that yet. Anyway, you guys, I guess you guys can go do this mission without followers. That's fine. Also just did the Ready for Midnight campaign. Nice. What did you think? It was longer than I expected it to be for some reason. I felt like it just kept going, but maybe that's because I didn't really want to be there. Had about 30 minutes before I'm going to leave for a doctor's appointment. Tried to clean my warband bank before it and only made some progress. Yeah, they grow things. Sometimes I look at mine and I swear my things are growing new things that weren't there before. My things end up getting really disorganized, just all over the place. I still only have 2 warband bank tabs. I have been unwilling to spend gold to unlock any further, even if I have the gold. I keep telling myself that the day that I am, like, out of space, and I'm fighting for it, and I feel like I really need it, then I will spend that gold to unlock it. And it just hasn't happened yet. But I'm not keeping, like, all of my old materials in the war bank. That would fill it up pretty fast, I would think. I keep things in the auction house. I sell them if I happen to have them handy, and then I buy them when I need them again. So you spend a little bit of gold, but it's a lot less organization. I am simply not productive enough to require more than 2 tabs. Yeah. I would have thought it'd be something that I would want to unlock just for the sake of unlocking it, but I guess not. 8 of those. Please. I wonder if I could farm Legion cloth while I'm waiting for this. Just like find some mobs and go fight them. Price for more is so much. Love doing the maw thing. I like how Sylvanas owns her mistakes and lives her purpose in the maw. Oh, I have an upgrade. I have 2 upgrades. Also sometimes just put stuff in my warband bank if I want to make sure to not have to check mail on that character. That's smart, yeah. I do end up posting a lot of auctions on characters that I probably shouldn't do. I don't think I want to mess with that. Alright, this is exciting. This is going to get this character up to 80. Finally. After all these years. Looks like we're doing Magister's Terrace. If I could do something to earn a lot more gold, I'd be open to unlocking more tabs. I think that when it comes to the transmog sets thing that we're getting, presumably soon here with pre-patch. I stunned those guys. I did not kick that heal though. Then, like, for the transmog sets thing, I think I'm going to be more willing to put down gold to unlock them. Because the idea of having more pre-saved sets that I don't have to pay to swap between. And it being an account-wide unlock, that seems more worthwhile to me. That seems like something I'm going to get more use out of. But I'll probably end up putting a bunch of gold into it if I have the gold to put into it. Normally I have a set for each spec. Yeah. I like the idea of context sets. I want it to pull sets automatically for, like, I don't know, I want like a fishing set, you know? I want a different set for when I walk in the raid versus when I'm just like hanging out in my house. That would be cool. And I know they do, I don't remember what the contexts are, but context-based transmog sets are coming. Because then I might actually make some sets. Like, I normally wear just exclusively quirky or casual clothes. I might make some sets that are more like traditionally armor set-y, just to wear into raid if I knew they were going to come off on their own later. Yeah, sweatsuit set for sitting on your couch. Exactly. Exactly, you get it. Look at me, I found my kick button. I'm helping. Uh-oh, it's Uncle. I helped one time and I'm out. Kanar, thank you very much for the 41-month resub. Appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. Arms over Fury. They're about the same to me. I'm using a 1-button rotation right now. For the most part. I have a button for my kick. You kick in time walking? Yeah. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to be the pug that I want to see in my group. Normally like class fantasies or stuff I remember from Warcraft 3. I like Arms and Fury, but I like them on different characters. I don't like swapping between them on one character. I'll have a character kind of either set up as a berserker or set up as a warrior that sort of feels more arms to me. Appreciate that these are nice and fast. I'm level 80. Good for me. Woohoo, we're done. I could leave, but I shouldn't. I won't. There's only 2 more bosses left anyways. I'm sure we'll be out of here in 5 minutes. 75 warrior, keep saying, have to finish her. I think you're looking at 2 dungeons, to be honest with you. If that character has rested, I think you're looking at 2 dungeons. This character was 76, and this is my 2nd dungeon, and I'm only halfway through and I'm already 80. it goes real fast, which I appreciate. It's the only thing that makes me feel like I can actually get some of these alts leveled. Why are gnomes the cutest race? They've got cute energy. It's not just that they're small. There's lots of races that are small. Goblin warriors are really funny because they make the funniest sounds when they're charging into combat. The shriek is really good. I did this dungeon one time in time walking, got the Hawkstrider mount. Nice. There's a pet I think that drops in here as well. I do play classics sometimes. Not often. I played the most classic that I've played in my life was when Hardcore Classic came out, and then again when Hardcore Ironbound came out. That imp is angry with us. But I don't like doing group content or dungeons or raids or anything like that, so outside of Hardcore there's not a lot there for me. I'd like to play a female Mechanome, but I can't deal with them because they lean backwards when they run. Is it different than the way regular gnomes run? I'm trying to visualize it. My favorite thing about female Mechanomes, or just Mechanomes in general, is their swimming animations. Especially if you've given them like the mechanical hands. They do propeller hands. Oh, they're so funny. It's a shame that you don't need to swim more. It almost never comes up. Hate the run animations of so many races. I'm trying to think of any that bother me. I don't really like Worgen, but that's just because they're Worgen. The whole everything about the way Worgen moves just feels bizarre to me. Love their hairstyles, the 1940s, 50s rockabilly vibe. I like the hairstyles that Mechanomes get, but it's so funny to me that they don't get them in like artificial colors. It's a race of people that is electively, you know, installing cyborg limbs. And they won't dye their hair pink? What do you mean? Yeah, we replace our limbs with mechanics, but draw the line at artificial colors. That has always been crazy to me. I think it's just because they wanted them to be... They were grasping for anything that could possibly make them distinct from regular gnomes. And regular gnomes are really known for the bright colored hair. Draclear humanoid run feels odd. Yeah. I always tried to get into Visage form whenever I could. Alright, so that dungeon's over. That's nice. We also got an upgrade. Love to see that. Yeah, there we go. Character finished. I can either pick another one to get started leveling, or I can go do Northrend Alchemy. Who else is going to get leveled? I'm kind of starting with the characters that are between 70 and 80. This one seems close. This hunter's level 77. The further they stray from humanity, the more they need to keep those traditions. Keeps them grounded. Guess they would see hair dye as a waste of resources. Your gnome leans forward while running. That's fine. Yeah. I think she leans backward if she starts, like, sprinting. I think it's a movement speed thing. Let's get into a queue for a TBC time walking. Oh, I have to leave the catch-up thing if I want. I have to leave the catch-up thing. I feel like I should continue the catch-up thing. Activate fight bot and interrupt its abilities 3 times. No, that's okay. I forgot that I had put this character into like a catch-up experience super short. And she's already partway done. She must be nearly finished. She might even get to the point where one time walking dungeon will finish her up. Oh, I will say that her catch-up campaign quest did not get tracked, so I can't really tell how well I'm doing. Like, I picked him up. Catch-up experience? Yeah. Not to be confused with your mustard experience. Maybe I have to do this. We'll do this. I feel like something phased. I don't have anything on my map. I wonder if I broke it by, like, logging out in the middle of it. I also don't know how to activate the interrupt bot. Pardon the interruption. None of these quests that I'm picking up. They're all on hold. I think I broke it. I think it's busted. I think we should leave catch up anyway. You can rerun it at any time from your adventure guide, I suppose. Good to know. Next time, do it in one sitting just in case that was not working real correctly. There we go. We'll get in queue for a nice dungeon. That's going to be about 10 minutes to get me into it. In the meantime, we can go to Dornival. My Hearthstone would actually take me there, but we can just use a couple of portals here. I appreciate that they moved the Dornival portal down to this floor, as opposed to making you run all the way upstairs for it. It was a bit of adjusting to get used to them shuffling around the portals in the portal room, but I'm glad they did. It makes more sense this way. I have a quest to turn in. I guess this character was like leveling out here, was questing and whatnot. Concerned citizens interviewed. May as well while you're waiting for your dungeon queue to pop anyway. This character was actually, I can do her transmog. That's another thing I can do while I'm waiting. She is walking around looking like a fool right now. There we go. That's a little better. This was my mop remix main of all things. Why do I have a spear? That's not right. Let's not do that. There we go. This is my mop remix hunter with her mop pets, Harold and Hilda. Wish Stormwind had a circular portal room like Orgrimmar. You don't have to run back and forth to find the right one. I think I'm just really used to the Stormwind portal room. It doesn't really bother me. I do end up getting turned around, but I'll find my way eventually. Ooh, I ought to pick up. You know what you can actually do while you're leveling? You can do these weeklies, and I need the resonance crystals to buy more decor. And if I pick up the delve weekly as well, I could probably, I know I'm leveling through time walking, but I can probably triple team this. With the other thing that you're getting, which is Isle of Dorn crystal chances. Can do any delve up here. This key to success quest. I think I deleted an archaic cipher key in one character, and now all of my characters are forever doomed to have that quest in their map, but be unable to turn it in. The Orgrimmar portal room is easier to fly directly into. You can fly up the stairs to the door. Always cancels out. Yeah, sometimes I have a difficult time neatly flying through the doorway of the Stormwind one. Oh. I don't need any coffer key shards, I don't think. I'm gonna be, at this rate, I'm gonna be level 80 before my time walking queue even pops. We're not even gonna need to do it. There we go, 78. We could absolutely do, delves, but it would take me, I don't like doing delves while I'm in queue for a dungeon, because you can take the dungeon queue, but then you're not going to finish your delve. Feels a bit like a waste of time. I wonder if this character has any gear that's going to help her out here, or if she's just kind of a mess. I guess she got a couple of things from doing the catch-up. I don't need Nomergon Heritage. I've done it already. And I also guess I don't need to set up a one-button rotation because I'm just playing BM Hunter. I can kind of sort of handle that. Orgrimmar, the most convenient city in the WoW world? I historically do not agree. One of my favorite early videos was me making an online listicle of all the reasons why Orgrimmar sucks. I remember being annoyed that, like, if I'm waiting for a boat in Stormwind, because you used to have to do that, I could fish, and if I was waiting for a Zeppelin in Orgrimmar, I couldn't fish. And indeed, had to run all the way up the Zeppelin towers. The different vertical layers of Orgrimmar makes it much worse to navigate at low levels. Once you can fly it, it kind of evens out. How are ya? Loved Oribos, liked that it was just a mall. It's nice that someone likes Oribos. I'm doing good, Scarlet. How are you? How are things? Do you remember these reasons? I mean, they're immortalized in YouTube video. It's available online. That was one of them, the one that I just mentioned. I think the verticality might have been another one. Prefer Stormwind over Org. Stormwind just feels more inviting as well. It feels like a homier place that would be comfier to actually hang out in. We can do some world quests while we wait, maybe? Kill a couple of extra leveling rares. Don't like Org at all. I've heard the rumor that Silvermoon will become the new Horde main city. Is that a thing? It's true. Silvermoon's going to be the new expansion main city for Horde and Alliance. There'll be a neutral area that's for everybody, and then there'll be a section of it that's just for Horde. But that's not a rumor. That's confirmed. That's happening. It looks beautiful. It's really gorgeous. Here we go. Just while we're waiting for a time walking queue, may as well nip in a world quest or two. Like I need an excuse. I love a good world quest. They got closer to the mark with the War Within ones than they have for a few expansions. Most of these are not super annoying the way that Dragonflight and, heaven forbid, Shadowlands world quests were annoying. They've made a new neutral city right next to original Silvermoon, which will remain Horde only. Alright. Time walking dungeon time. Let's see if this gets me to 80. I bet you it will. Be more apt to play Horde if Org wasn't the main city. I used to really like the vibe, and I know it's not that comfy, but I used to prefer the vibe of Undercity, even though I found it horrific to navigate because it was underground, you had to survive the elevator, and then it was so symmetrical. It was symmetrical both side to side and top and bottom, so you had to really know your way around, otherwise it was very easy to end up just running laps around the outer ring of it. But I liked it down there. I had good memories of, like, you know, making young undead alts. Had a lot of characters. I think that was my favorite Horde city. I wish the Trolls had gotten a full-fledged city and not just been shunted into Orgrimmar. Can't stand circular cities. WoW players, not always around the whole city, but love a lap. Do you hate Dalaran by that same metric? Dalaran is quintessentially a circular city. WoW players in cities love running laps. Around a fountain, around all of Dalaran, around whatever it is that's in the middle. Think I'm over things being underground? I'm hoping Herendar's avatar-esque thing makes it feel better. Yeah, we've had a lot of underground zones lately, and they do interesting things to make sure they don't feel completely cave-like for the most part, but at this point, I'm with you. I'm kind of over it. Thunderbluff has the problem with verticality with elevators. Could use more mailboxes. And Undercity was fine when they allowed mounts in it. We need another underwater zone. You guys got all the hot takes today. I thought Najatar was a great way of doing an underwater themed zone without literally making us swim much. Spent so much time in Ironforge when just starting out. I'll always have that nostalgic. Wait. It took so long to figure out how to get into Undercity. I wanted to flip my desk, would Google it, and everything I could find literally just said you need to talk to Zadormi. But I wasn't I wasn't in the wrong timeline. Yeah. Yeah, Undercity's not that intuitive to get into if you've never done it before. There's probably somebody out here on God's green earth that only knows how to get into it by walking in the sewer entrance. Because you can. There is a... It used to be the way that the flight path bats would... The flight path bats would get in. There's probably somebody, some soul, that doesn't know about walking into, like, the actual keep and then go taking the elevator that is, like, flying through the tunnels every time. Remember being a kid being lost in Tearsfall Glades. They need an X-Pack that doesn't add new areas, reuses existing world assets that could stand to be revisited. That reminds me of Cataclysm. Although they did, of course, add new areas in Cataclysm, but that was sort of the theme of it, was revisiting old ones and kind of, you know, tucking new zones into old areas. Liked Najatar, but I wish the Eternal Palace style part of the zone was bigger. Do I play Stardew or not? Do you want to play Stardew? Couldn't find that entrance either. Yeah, the building with the elevator is like the normal way to get in. I don't blame you for not going back there. You don't really need to for most things. It got the Teldrassil treatment. It is lore-wise not it's kind of under maintenance. Not particularly occupied. Burnt out in Stormwind and Dornegal. We need more color in the main city. Yeah, Silvermoon's definitely more colorful. It is bright out there. Kinda, but I'm gonna get overwhelmed. Yeah, you just pick one goal at a time. Don't worry so much. Don't let the ticking clock and the passing time stress you out. There's no time limit on Stardew. So even if you miss doing something in a season that you wanted to do, you can do it next year. You know, there's no rush. You just pick one thing that sounds fun. Maybe you just want to bring eggs to Alex. Or bring coconuts to Haley or whatever it is. I think I'm totally going to get to level 80 with this. I think one dungeon's going to finish her off. Only went there to do one of the Winter Veil achievements. I needed to make some brother kiss someone. When does the new Animal Crossing update come out? I started playing again, and now I'm itching to multi-craft. We do have all hot takes today. 15th? Okay. I can live for another week. I can make it. There was a really dumb part of my brain when I was thinking about the update recently where I was like, well, okay, so the update's coming soon, but I wonder when it's going to come out on Switch. Because I largely on Switch was playing Stardew Valley and I was used to updates coming out and then having to wait for another couple of months for them to actually, well, months is kind of optimistic, wait for a while for them to eventually get published onto the console version of the game. And I forgot that Animal Crossing is really just for Switch and nothing else. So if they're putting out an update and it's not on Switch, then they need to try again. Yeah, you can get Stardew for Switch. Stardew's for all kinds of things. I have it for PC. I have it for iOS. I used to run it on my iPad on planes. I have it for Switch. I have a lot of hours on my Switch version. I eventually started to injure my hands by playing too much Stardew on Switch because my Switch controller is not that ergonomic and I was doing way too many hours. Not good for me. Essentially everything. I think there's probably more platforms. Stardew Valley platforms. But yeah, I did not have a single problem buying that game 3 times because it was worth every penny. Stardew Valley platform, because that pulled up something that I did not want to know about. Stardew Valley platform is available on Switch, Android, iOS, Switch 2, PlayStation, Xbox, Mac OS, Linux. Yeah, pretty much whatever. You know, your friendly local game playing device. Also, I'm level 80. Woohoo! Get anyone new in your Animal Crossing island? Yeah, I've got my next 3 villagers moving in now. They're the ones. One of them I invited, and that was Annalisa. She's very cute. She's like an anteater geisha situation. And then the other 2 were auto-picked. One of them is Claude, who is a rabbit with a curly unibrow. I didn't immediately love him when I looked it up, but we'll get to know him. We'll see if we like him. And then the third one was Bianca, who I'm in love with, and I'm very happy she's coming. Congrats. Thank you. Claude didn't spark joy. I'm not sure if Claude's gonna spark joy. Here, I'll pull up the images. This is Claude. That's his vibe. I'm not against it. I don't think. Frida's also been growing on me. He doesn't spark joy. Love him dearly. He has a lazy eye, I think. I think he has a lazy eye, and then he's got like his curly in a row. All bunnies S tier. He's got the bowling alley carpet shirt. I'm trying to be less judgy with my villagers this time around and just kind of get to know them and give them a chance. I have Frida the French fry sheep, and she was one of my starter villagers, and I'm just letting her be. I'm just trying to appreciate her for who she is and her hamburger hat and her hot dog shirt. Is that a brow or his bangs? Potato, potato. Call me, call me. Alright, well, so we got 2 characters up to 80 that were not at 80 this morning. That feels good. Is Frida sparking joy? I think she's starting to, yeah. I also love that I have 2 tigers, because Tybalt's a tiger, and then we've got Bianca coming. Alright, so I'm leveling Northern Alchemy. That's what we're doing next. Yeah, I started playing, my current Stardew file that I'm working on is on PC, because I'm modding it for the first time. I'm not doing any insane mods, but I put the Automate mod on, just for some quality of life, and it's been really good. Mating Devourer in Midnight, it's calling my name. Nice. It's nice to have a plan. You know what you want. I'm going to Northrend, and I'm going to see about alchemy. We're going to spend some gold over here. Northrend Alchemy. 1 through 75. And we only need to get it to like... What do we need to get it to? 60? You should get the to-do mod. Lets you type a list in game. Oh. I love the doorway to the Northrend Alchemy shop. This eats. Like, this is so cool. Can I put this in my house? I would make an alchemy lab if I could have this with the bubbles. Come on. That's so freaking cool. Ergonomical apothecary. Hello. So I know Northrend Alchemy. The question is, what am I going to do about it? We're at 1 of 75, so we can... Oh, it really only does go to 75, so we just need to get to 60. Gotcha. We'll just buy what we can here. I wonder if one's going to run into roadblocks or not. Helandra's Rose. I need 24 of these. 26 tiger lilies. $60 gold clover. Love that with decor I keep spotting assets in the world and saying, that's in my house. Oh, you're lucky. I keep spotting assets in the world and being like, I want that to be in my house. Give it to me. Give it here. My greed knows no bounds. Adder's tongue. 24 of these. Ice thorn. I'm a little... I guess we don't need that many points. I'm a little nervous by how small our quantities are here. Just 20 of these guys. 60 lich bloom. I need more cup varieties. About like 50 wad wooden mugs. 50 lich bloom. 50 or 60? 60. Let's just start with that and then see how far we get. Because the guide is supposed to take you all the way to 75, so maybe it'll be more than what we need. Alright. 5 icy mana potions. I need more flowers and plants. And we're getting them. They're coming. But I need them. I'm impatient. And then 5 potions of nightmare. Oh, pygmy suckerfish are super cheap. Let's see how far we can get away with that. Make some pygmy oils. They're even profitable, technically. I want boots and coats and armor racks and clothing racks. That's the thing that I feel like my house is missing right now. Is, you know, I want to be able to like drape a shirt over a chair in my room. That'll make it feel lived in. Or like hang up some clothes in my closet. Or hang up some coats by my door, you know. Or if armor, if we have to make it more Warcrafty or something. I have like chests of stuff, and you can imagine there's clothes in the chest, but there's not a lot of like clothing decor necessarily. Alright, so I am skill 12, which means we're getting mighty strength elixirs. 8 of these. Working on weapon and armor racks. That'll help. I don't know if that's exactly what I want, though. One thing I'd like to eventually see using our alts is follower dungeon skins. Yeah, definitely a popular request. Let's just make these. Best clutter item like that has to be the Undermine Takeout. It's so funny. It's such a good one. We're making mighty agilities? Yeah. I want the iron bar palette from Kata. Do we have the gold bar palette anywhere? Every 3 days. I forgot about alchemy research. We're gonna make a crazy alchemist potion, which is just 2 gold clover and a vial. We're going off script, but that's fine. Oh, this really is a 3-day cooldown. Holy moly. I wonder if I got lucky and I got like a relatively cheap recipe to make. I mean, gold clover is not that cheap, but it's not that bad either. Alright, so I'm at skill 40. Runic mana potions is what they were talking about. But I bet you we can just do something else. Indestructibles, maybe. I want some crystals that aren't locked behind big time-consuming achievements. You'd think enchanting would have been able to make stuff like that. Just like placeable crystals, but maybe not. Okay, so at point 47, turns green. Ooh, so you are making some green stuff. You can switch to titanium, Transmute if you can find cheap Serenite bars. I'm sure the Serenite bars aren't cheap, but the titanium is going to sell, so we can probably do some of that. At 55, they want you transmuting stuff. This becomes mildly unprofitable. You can at least get 247 gold back for the titanium. I remember buying the titanium to make some other decor. Character's got a lot of random old dusts and essences left over. Okay, what is it that I'm gonna make now? I'm not really gonna transmute a bunch of titanium, am I? I might. 73 gold loss is a lot. These are only 15 gold, but it's a chance. Maybe a low chance. They want you to take it all the way to 55. Let's just get a bunch of this and send it. Northrend. Once we're at 55, they want me to transmute some Earth Siege or Skyflare diamonds. Hopefully that's not too expensive, we'll see, but that'll get me to 60. And that's all we need to do is get to 60. Bunch of extra potions around here. I'm gonna check when you're getting rid of stuff like this, because if it has a high value, people might buy it because it may be a reagent for some other thing that people are crafting. But if it's just like 10 silver per, we can probably just chuck it. There's 55. Okay. I just need 5 more points. We can do it. There's our transmutes. 200 gold. 100 gold. That sounds better. Let's do 5 of these. And I might even be able to sell them. It looks like this is 13 gold profit per, so somebody must want the Earth Siege diamonds. I vaguely remember using some for jewel crafting or something. Nice. Learned a couple of transmutes too. Some of these are like worthwhile. Are they daily cooldown? So can I take a 57 gold eternal water? Let's see if I can take a few of them. Turn them into fires and then just sell them? Is there really no cooldown on that? Transmutes used to have cooldowns. Doesn't say there's a cooldown. Yes, yes there is. Okay. Never mind. Answered my own question. Yeah, well, that was nice. That was fine. We did it. We're 60 alchemy points. Let's sell off a couple of our extra mats, pick up our recipes, and see what kind of stuff we're gonna need to scrape together to make them. We'll need some cold wind lumber for sure. Also, we may as well sell the rest of the mats that we bought that we didn't end up using from the other older expansions. Get a little bit of our gold back. diamonds that I just transmuted go? I had a bunch of them. Earth. Siege. I'm probably just not used to their icon here. There and there. Earth Siege diamonds. About 650 gold worth of those. Okay. Let's remind ourselves. I think it was a plague canister and a Sandlane blood orb. That's what we can make here. So we're going to need 60 coldwood lumber. We already have 24. Let's head out on a character and get about 50 or so. I was herbing in... Or not herbing. I was lumbering in... I want to say Howling Fjord was what I was doing. Any characters still out there? No. Let's get back on this one. Make another 2 pieces of decor. More is more. That's the decor motto. More is more. It'll feel nice to have, like, my main professions finished. So, Northrend. I'll just take the regular portals. You don't need to make this complicated. Hi, how's it going today? Hello, Haley. It's going pretty good. How are you? I'm mixing it up. I'm doing a little bit of profession leveling and decor crafting like yesterday, but I am also doing a little bit of alt leveling. I got 2 of my characters. I got Crinkle the Warrior and then Squidgy the Hunter. Both gnomes. I got those from to 80 in time walking. It's not very many dungeons. I should just suck it up and do it. One of these days I should just put on like a podcast or something. And just start dungeon queuing on all these alts that are not 80 yet. Because it's really not very many dungeons. Let's do some lumbering. Let's try Crystal Song Forest. That's where we spawned in. There's trees. They're skinny. Seems like it might be alright. I want the paintings from Vanilla. I know we're getting more paintings. I definitely want more wall art options. The tapestries from tailoring help. Those are nice. Hello. Hello, Briar. How are you doing today? Happy Thursday. Planning to do more time walking too. Comp Stomp as well. Busy week. I got too much decor to get. It's going to be so satisfying to have the profession tab filled out the same way that the drops tab is. Like, this nice little wall of green is so good. Tailoring's good now. We're working on alchemy. We've got alchemy up into the yellow section. Working through jewel crafting for decor. Jewel crafting was an expensive one, but it has some of the prettiest stuff. Northrend jewel crafting has the most gorgeous decor. Pretty close to all green. Getting there. Every day counts. Every stream getting a little closer. We're gonna get about 50 of these. This is a really nice forest. I hadn't done any lumbering out here yet. I know people. Oh, I just remembered how else I could have gotten a Northrend. I could have dream walked here. There's a Dreamway portal of the Grizzly Hills. That's how I got here last time. Yeah, this is nice. These trees are skinny enough that you can pick the lumber from the backside of them. Luckily, it's my main's profession, so it's fully leveled. Just been farming stuff. That's the best feeling when you go to make decor and you already have the profession levels from an old profession. Some people must have had all of that ready to go. I did not. I didn't even think I was going to do it. I thought I was just going to, like, buy all the decor. But I didn't. I guess I just didn't anticipate how expensive it would be. I figured that pretty quickly people would be selling all of it for close to cost. And in some cases that's true, but a lot of times you could level the profession for the amount of gold that it would take you to buy one of the pieces of decor from it. So it started to become kind of a satisfying thing to get them all leveled. And I feel like as long as I remember which characters I did this on, and I don't delete them, then I don't have to do it again. If they ever do go back and add more things to these old professions, which maybe they will, maybe they won't, but if they do, I will be ready. Going back to a lot of alts I haven't logged onto for years. It got me playing a couple of character races that I don't normally play because of their profession racials. I never would have had a Nightborn that I was actually like running around doing stuff on. But I needed a scribe. All the professions leveled up to at least Pandaria. Yeah, it'll save a lot of gold. A lot of these things would have been much cheaper to level before decor came out as well. People were doing it in advance, and prices were starting to go up, but not to the degree that they eventually did. This is pretty good. Where should I put my plague canister? I'm about to be the brand new proud owner of a canister of plague. Should we put it in the kitchen? We should put it in the pantry next to the grain. That's the best possible spot. Yeah, plague room. I don't think I'm being imaginative enough with my house design. I think I need to get outside the box. How do most people keep track of who has what profession leveled? If you're like me, you don't. And you just wing it and you kind of wish you had been keeping a spreadsheet. People that change characters less often probably just know. But I'm like you. I have it spread out all over the place. Wow thing, spreadsheet. The warband camps will tell you who has which professions, but if you have different expansions professions leveled, like I might have like 3 alchemists, and maybe they have all of alchemy covered like between the 3 of them, but it's not all in one character. That's definitely something that's happened to me. Shadowlands Alchemy, I don't think I have it on Inksy, but I went and did it on Hazeline because she was my Shadowlands main, and she still had her alchemy. Only leveling older professions now. Yeah. I was going to have a section of my spreadsheet, the same one that I was going to use for my alts for class order halls. I was also going to make a section that just kind of covered who had what profession. But luckily, the character selection screen does have a search bar now, so you can search by profession and you can just get a list of all of your characters that have that profession, and that would at least narrow it down. No idea which expansions are leveled. Yeah. That goes ATT collecting. It's coming along. I'm more focused on homebound collecting right now, which will ultimately help with ATT, but I'm in my decor grind. I'm trying to get my unique decor number up. I'm in the range of 950 according to Data for Azeroth. Yesterday we got about 15 new items, supposedly. We went from like 934-ish to 950. It's pretty good. Oh, you know why? It's because I stopped by the cobweb vendor. So it is counting white quality items. That's probably part of what's going on. May change mains every season, but I play all the same mains since Shadowlands. See, that's smart. That's my problem, is whenever I want to make like a new main or even a new alt that I'm going to play for a season, I don't want to use one of my existing characters. I want to make a brand new one. Half the fun for me is coming up with a name and a race and a combo and a transmog and leveling it. So I end up with extra copies of everything just littered everywhere. We have 27. We're going to get about 50 here. I think that's how many I needed. Do you have those? They just don't need professions leveled or anything? Nah, that's smart. Most of my alts end up just having herbalism and mining for leveling. That's kind of like the default pair that I set a character up with. If I don't know what I want to do with their professions, or if I don't want to do anything, I'll just give them double gathering. Cobweb vendor. Yeah, there's a cobweb vendor in the neighborhood. Horde and Alliance each have one. And they're kind of hidden away. It was tucked underground in a cellar. I used all the things to pin the waypoints on my map, and that's how I found them. I feel like I need to leave my main in the X-Pack that I played them, so if I want to go back and grind something, I can leave my current main where they are. I want to return to my druid as my main so the 80s get abandoned except for specific achievement needs. Must have added them recently? No, they were there on beta. Yeah, I don't know when it happened, but they're there now. I went and got them yesterday. I had definitely missed them earlier. Maybe they weren't in yet. Yes, to double gathering on alts. I mean, it's a nice double whammy because you'll make some extra gold while you're leveling if you're out in zones, but you'll also get some extra experience every time you pick up a node. That's always nice. Especially now, you would make quite a bit of gold gathering while you're out there. It almost makes me want to level my alts by questing and not by time walking. I use my mage to travel to all old content and then park alts to something I'm farming. I remember when I used to leave all of my alts in whatever inn was closest to their raid entrance. So when I was farming like Anixia's lair, I would have them all living in Mudsprocket. And they would have their hearth set there. I think I still have characters there. I couldn't tell you why. I've had Anixia's mount for a long time. Missing a lot of achievements with decor. Not looking forward to that grind. I've got a few missing as well. They're not... I was gonna say they're not that bad, but that's not true. There's some awful, or like some very long and involved ones. I just happen to have them already. Like the expansion metas that give decor. I got a Dark Heart of Galakron and a Corrupted Heart of N'Zoth stuck in my walk-in closet. I ran into that no more loot restriction while farming elemental moats in Outland specifically. And it was happening pretty consistently. I think it's designed intentionally that way. Don't have any of the metas done. Yeah, they're big projects. They're nice though. You get other stuff. There's mounts too. My achievements and stuff that I still need. There's a quest or something that's there. I know I need to do a few more treasures from Vel'Shirah. There's a Ruby Feast quest. There's Debris Playing Exile's Reach. PvP for sure. And then that one's an archaeology achievement. So I guess my achievement list is not that big. There's a few things for sure. Mostly just quests. Wish I had a meta to work on, which is why I'm trying to pick away at glory achievements. I'm missing so many of those. I think I've stopped expecting that I'm going to get all the mounts and pets. I think I've let go of that. For better or for worse. Dragonblight must be an awful zone to farm lumber in. I think I'm better off in Zuldrak or Grizzly Hills if I'm sick of Crystal Song. We're nearly finished though. We're at 48 pieces. Get a couple more trees and we can just fly back up to Dalaran and stick it in the bank. Did the unthinkable and got all the mogs, minus profession stuff from Encourage, including all of the class quest sets. Nice. Congratulations. That's gotta feel good. Chipping away at a World Awoken, but I can only shovel so much dirt before losing my mind. Fair, yeah. I think a World Awoken is worse to work on now than it was when it was current. They make you do a lot of centaur hunts. Those suck if there's nobody else doing them, even if you can one-shot stuff. It's so annoying doing a whole centaur hunt by yourself. Get what I can. At the end of the day, pixels in a video game. Exactly. I'm just that silly cancel the blood troll apocalypse one away, and no matter what I try, just not getting mobs fast enough. That one was awful. I was stuck on that for a while. I ended up, I think, getting help. I had a friend come help me gather them up. Or I was using my own alt or something with like a Brewmaster Ox statue. There was some weird tech. It was a horrific achievement. It's really rude that you have to wait that long for the thing to even spawn, and then when it's up, it's so fiddly. And it's so easy to accidentally finish the world quest, and then you just have to hope you have alts that can do it. Alright, time to make our plague canister. Northrend Alchemy didn't take too long, actually. All things considered. I'm gonna reach a point where the last thing that I still need from professions is that silly Black Lotus table. But not yet. We're not there quite yet. We're gonna make one of these. And we're gonna make one of these. So I have the Lich Bloom. I need the Shadows. I need the Frost Lotus. Runic healing potions. Eternal life. And a frozen orb. Still possible to get the achievement My First Nemesis. I don't think so. Let me see. No. Because it's before the release of the next season of Delve, so it's a feat of strength now. You can still defeat Zekvir, but that achievement is now a feat of strength. That was a time-limited one. Got in on people standing by the world quest and organizing help in order to get that one done. Yeah. One Sandlane Blood Orb. Is this thing cool? I mean, sure. It's not uncool. I'm more excited about the Plague Canister for some reason. That's going in the pantry for sure. Is it required for the meta? No, I don't think so. What did the War Within meta want anyway? A lot of achievements over here. World Soul. World Soul searching. So they wanted you to do the raids. This one wasn't that bad. They wanted you to do the raids and the exploration and the quest achievements. Glyph hunting and whatnot. Metas for the new zone, so you shall not pass. That was pretty easy. Goblin mode. Nothing too crazy. Do not have it. I have the meta. Part of Glory of the Delver, that one is needed. Glory of the Delver does say that. My first nemesis. Yeah, it does say that. There must be a way to do it, though. Maybe they don't require it anymore. Because they wouldn't do that to you. I don't think. Okay. We are done with Northrend Alchemy. Blessedly. Alchemy's up to 60%. Cataclysm Alchemy is next. And Cata Alchemy has a potion. Oh, I want to skip into Pandaren Alchemy. It looks cool. Cata Alchemy has a potion and a cauldron. Let's go back to Stormwind and have a look at it. See what we can do. See how expensive this turns out to be. Delve meta was a pain in the butt. Yeah, it was. Cinder Blooms, Shard's Veil, Volatile Life. Okay, I don't think this will be too bad. My male High Mountain Torn looks so good in the red tube sweatsuit. I wonder what's going to happen to the meta then after, what's going to happen to it after this expansion is over? Like, usually they do let you go back and earn it. But if it wants you to kill one of the seasonal bosses current, then that's a bit awkward. Maybe they'll change it. Alright, we need Cinderbloom. $85. Ashar's Veil. 15. 25 Heart Blossoms. Yeah, they might just remove it from the meta. $45 Volatile Life. 27 Twilight Jasmine. 60 Whiptail. And some stones, but we'll get to those at the end. I think you're a bit obsessed with decor. I'll be reasonable about it when I have it all. I'm just into it because I'm not finished it yet. When did you acquire that mount? Oh, where did you acquire it? Speaking of Delve Nemesises, this is the Hyperdrive skin for the Mana Skimmer. that you get for doing double question mark Kaiveza while she's current. If you remember when I was working on that on stream, that was a trial. What am I doing? I'm going back to the alchemy trader. Oh, I'm right there. I'm already here. Let's see. We're going to make Draft of War. Cataclysm. 5 of these? 5 of these. Oh, meant the Dino mount. The Traders Gilded Brutosaur is a shop mount. It was an expensive shop mount. And then the green one I bought for gold back in BFA. It was a gold sync. Did Zekfir didn't bother with the other ones after that? It's funny, I did the opposite. I didn't do Zekfir. I wasn't into it yet. And then I got into it for Underpin, and then I did it for Kaiveza too. And now I kind of wish I had done Zekfir, but it's, you know, you can't turn back time. I fought him, but not solo and not on the harder difficulty. 5 of these. I'm trying to get up to 10. At which point we're going to make some volcanic potions. How many? 5. Sure, I will wish I had at some point. Too busy with other things. Yeah. Underpin was particularly frustrating. His mechanic was largely kicking foot bombs and having to aim them in a hurry in a pretty hectic fight, and I found it to be maddening. I think I got him down easier than I got Kaiveza down, but Kaiveza was a better fight. Cool, seeing the world come alive with people out farming for decor. I see people everywhere now. It's just, it's a good system. It could have been so much less than what it is. So I'm glad that they did as much as they did. Some of these. Oh, Rugby6, thank you very much for the brand new sub. Thanks for picking me for your Prime sub. Appreciate it. We're doing how many Cobras? 10? 10 or so. I'm trying to get to 25. I already have the mats for the Gilnean Green Potion. Might not need to get that much extra lumber. I feel like the cauldron might be kind of cool in a kitchen too. Maybe I'll redo my kitchen and I'll just get rid of the whole Pandaren theme, and then it'll look less like a restaurant. Anyone still trying to get their flickering title? Underkeep. Great today. Good to know. Elixirs of Deep Earth. Trying to get this up to 30. And then some impossible accuracy. I don't know why I keep running outside for this. I can make potions indoors. Next to the trainer. So this is 5 of these to get up to 35. I should have been making prismatic elixirs, they're cheaper. At this point, we switch to mythical mana potions. To get to 40. And we can keep making these. Or we can switch to Golem blood potions. And at a certain point, we're going to get mythical healing potions. This seems good, though. Also feels very manageable. Some of it's grindy. But it's stuff you'd want anyways. Decor acts as a nice motivator. That's how I feel. That's the thing I like about it the most, is that it feels manageable. It feels like I can get everything right now. It's within reach. Also, I might actually use some of these things. That's kind of nice too. So once we get to 60, we can stop and we can basically sell the rest of our herbs and stuff. Maybe do one of these. It's a daily cooldown. Need some volatile waters. One more point. Just get lucky with the green. Haha! Nice. Okay. There we go. Gillian green potion. 41 lumber. Oh, perfect. I have enough lumber. I don't need to go farm lumber. I had enough extra left over. So 3 Ashar's Veil. This is terribly exciting. About to get 2 more pieces. That was nice and fast. So 680 gold worth of that. I actually have some of this, so we only need 25 because we transmuted some. Luckily enough. Deepstone oil, kind of expensive. This one's nice and cheap. And then 3 Ashar's Veil. Going one step further and getting all the professions maxed for the Master of all achievements, which is way more annoying getting those last 20 points. The thought that I had is because crafting the decor itself gives you points. Obviously, I'm not going to make it all in one big go, but if I end up going back to make extra copies to sell or for my house or anything like that, that's one way to somewhat profitably get all these points. Nice. 62. But these ones are for me. There's a green potion. Wow. And the cauldron's quite nice. Let's take a look at Homebound. Pandaria. Pandaria's next. And I've done Draenor already. And we've done Shadowlands onwards. So we just need Pandaria, Legion, and Kultiris. And then, of course, that. We can go back and get that table. But let's go pop over to Pandaria. We got a bit of time. See what we can do. Find out where the alchemy trainer is. It's probably somewhere weird. They put them in strange places in Pandaria. But I'm not used to the... I guess I can just Google it. I'm not used to where the guards are if you're not in the city. Pandaren alchemy trainer. In the bug zone. I know the silk trainer is there. Knee gentle paw. Alchemy trainer is located. Dawn's Blossom. There's a new trainer also sells alchemy supplies. Oh, you can also go find Poison Crafter Kills It in Dread Wastes. Let's go poke around at Dawn's Blossom and see. Yeah, it looks like there's multiple locations. Plan on maxing everything out too, might as well. Hi, hello. Done with clinic for the day early. Hello, how you doing? How is your pup? Is your pup okay? We are keeping on. We got a couple characters leveled in time walking today. I've been crushing through some alchemy decor crafting. And I'm heading to look for an alchemy trainer. There's one around here somewhere. Knee Gentle Paws, who I'm after. Need to finish the quest with Lamech Surmar so long. I straight up gave up on that. Gentle Paw. I was doing them for a little while back when I still wanted like the knowledge or whatever, but I reached a point where I couldn't even do it. Oh, I'm so close. I'm like on top of her. She's right behind me. She's right here. Doing well. Stay in the hospital for a few days. Think I can take her tomorrow home late tomorrow or Saturday. Oh, hopefully soon. Oh, poor baby. Been hearing that Legion is hard. Didn't play much Legion. Legion professions are annoying because they decided that what professions needed was a bunch of quests. So there's a lot of questing that is involved in getting your profession recipes. And then there's also profession recipe ranks. So you might be able to learn how to make something pretty easily, but it'll take 3 times the materials unless you want to grind out the higher ranks of that recipe, which often are like low drop rates from stuff. Or are tied to reputations, can happen as well. All right. Pandaria Alchemy. Trainers only teach you 2 recipes, and those recipes are used to unlock additional recipes. Okay. So let's get some green tea leaf and then just see what we can do. Green tea sounds pretty good. Yeah, dungeon quests. It's just finicky. Why do I need to run a dungeon to learn a potion recipe? Are you done with time walking? I might do one more. I've just been kind of picking characters that are close. That seems like an easy one. Silkweed. Highest verse. Oh, I don't know. 300 and something? I didn't really make a point of trying to finish it. 200 of these. I got what I needed from Remix. I got the stuff off the vendors. Gonna visit her today when fiance's off work. Give her a smooch for me. Oh. This seems like it's gonna be pretty cheap, actually. 8 gold a point. 8 gold a point is pretty nice. 8, 9 gold. And we only need to get to 60. It's for the Pandaran Alchemist's Kit and Retort. That's what the kit looks like. And then there's the retort. It's real cute. These are green now. If I can still get any points off of it, though. It's still proccing extra recipes. Let's get some Fool's Cap and start making those ones. This is kind of fun. Sort of a DIY leveling guide. Just make whatever's cheap. I don't remember doing Pandaran Alchemy at all. I must have never done it. This doesn't look familiar. Much cheaper, though, than some professions. Ah, potions of luck. Not very lucky after all. I could turn Golden Lotus into potions of luck for like 5 gold each. And perhaps I should. We only need 7 of them. I wonder how much bamboo lumber I have and how much I'm gonna need. I might have some extra on hand. Nice, okay. So now we can pick up these and see what we can do. I have the lumber already. Excellent. No need for a lumber farming break. All we gotta do is buy some stuff and we're gonna be up another 2. So I have the tea leaf, we don't need that. We can get the mana potions. A couple more golden lotus. Ghost iron bars. And some spirits of harmony. That's the expensive part. Hoo-wee! 435 gold per spirit of harmony. Ouchie. My bones. think professions would be easier to level if I had an auction house mount. I won't lie to you, it helps a lot. It helps a great deal because you can just sit, especially with the trader's one that has the mailbox on it, you can sit right next to the trainer and you can just do everything you need. It makes it pretty fast. You still have to spend the gold, but it cuts down your travel time a lot. You can do it without it, but it'll require being a bit more organized. Also, this is an example of the thing that we learned how to make. There it is. And then there's the retort right behind it. That's cute. I wonder if mine's gonna do that. Alright, alchemy's looking good. Legion alchemy for a starry scrying pool and the cutting fountain. Cutting fountain, thankfully, is gorgeous. That might replace my other fountain out front. But I may end up needing to do some questing. Let's see what they say. They let you get to 50 just by... I might be able to do it without doing any alchemy quests, actually. We might be able to make do. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take her home. We can lay out, or at least take a look at some of these things that we've made. And then I'm going to do at least one more time walking dungeon I'll try to get into on another character. See if I can grab a character that's like partially leveled that can heal would be nice. I have been using the WoW-Professions guides. They're excellent. They got a write-up for every single profession. Alright. So I learned how to make this one. There's the Pandaren kit. There's the Pandaren retort. Mine does not seem to bubble the same way that hers was bubbling. Aw. People must use this for something. It looks like it could be turned into, I don't know, something else. You could almost turn it upside down. I was gonna say turn it upside down, call it a watering can, but that's dumb. That doesn't look like anything. We also got the Gilnean. Oh, we have all kinds of Gilnean stuff, actually. The Gilnean wooden bed's kind of cute. We got a cauldron. This looks kind of yummy. Look like a drinky bird thing. And then a little potion. Alright, let's find a character that needs a time walking dungeon. Yeah, it gives kettle vibes, kinda. I can see myself sticking it on my stove. Alright, someone between 70 and 80 who can heal. Barnacles. Porridge. Just for a nice fast dungeon run. See what the healer queue looks like. The DPS queues have been pretty consistently like 9-10 minutes. And he can, while he's in queue, he can actually do some lumber gathering. Would your guild remove you if you left a huge trash pile on your front lawn? No. I think if they were gonna do that, then Flabby would be in danger. Sweater is so baller. Thank you. On days that you need to really hype yourself up, you can just look at your sweater and you can be like, be the big fish. Don't be the little fish, be the big fish. I mean, you could be the little fish, but you're not going to be a fish for very long. Oh, that's a nice fast queue. Holy smokes. Steam Underbog. Oh, I love Underbog. Here, give me a default build. Give me anything. See how far this gets. This guy's 71 in a couple bars. Looks like he does have mouse over turned on, so that's good. His bars are a mess, but whatever. It's just a time walking dungeon. We can heal it. Hi, how's it going? Hello, Chris. It's going good. How are you doing? I am popping into a time walking dungeon to level one of my alts. I'm on my Coltiran Druid. Doesn't he just look like a quintessential Rusted Druid? I love this torch staff, but it sheathes upside down, so the fire goes on his butt. Keeps his buns warm. If you've ever seen somebody warm their bum on a fire, this just saves you the trouble. I love Marticlus. I love him too. He's one of my favorite alts. Druids are just so great. Yeah, he's got hot pants. I love this outfit. I don't even remember what he's wearing. I'd have to look it up if anyone wanted to know. Might be like a trading post shirt, like a Shifty Thieves shirt or something. Hidden chest piece and a Shifty Merchant's tunic. It's an actual shirt, not a armor piece. Heard Resto good on beta right now. Oh, nice. Pretty much the best healer. Well, if I end up being really unhappy with Holy Priest, I can always poke around with it, but I can't see myself ever being untrue to Inksy. Couldn't happen. I don't know what talent keeps turning me into a chicken. Worth getting back in before the new expansion? If you're planning on playing it, I think so. Pre-patch is going to be a good time. That's coming up this month. A couple more weeks. Pre-patch will be great because you will have a chance to kind of get used to the new class designs a bit. All the system changes generally come in pre-patch. And if you're pre-ordering Midnight, you get to play with housing. You get to play with your decor, if you want to. With this angle, it looks like you are wearing a little crown. Me? Oh yeah, it's my orchid. It's my orchid. I got another kit. Actually, I have 2 kits now. I have 2 Lego botanical kits that I have not assembled. At some point, I just need to whip them out and get at it. Glad I waited to do the daily decor quest from the neighborhoods because Handy Notes just tells me where all the treasures are now. I liked doing those puzzles at first because I had just toured the neighborhood, so I was like, oh yes, by the grape tower, and I like knew where that was. I don't know if I have the patience for it anymore. I haven't been doing them. It's extra copies of things that I have already. Yeah, you're gonna keep the housing items you collect because it's on retail. It's not on beta. Anything that you would do in like a beta or PTR, you don't get to keep. But anything that happens in the live game, they're not gonna take it away from you. New furniture coming in pre-patch. There is new furniture coming. I don't know how much of it's in pre-patch versus full Midnight. Gotta be something. Do not mind the free copies. They're probably free copies of things I was going to use anyway. It does save you a bit of gold. Want to get the quests done. Wonder if Midnight will add more stuff to old content. Possible. I haven't really like dug in deep to what exactly is coming. I just know it's a lot. I know that when you look at the database numbers for housing stuff, it's a pretty small amount of it that we have currently compared to what's coming. You get to keep everything until Blizzard takes the servers down when WoW dies. This is true. I mean, it's just like in real life. You get to keep everything until you die, and then you don't get to keep anything. Nothing's forever. That's okay. Only 60k more time walking badges. You are busy. Holy moly. I was thinking about buying the pet that's on the time walking vendor right now because I don't have it yet. And then I thought, well, you're down like a lot of mounts. It's my favorite way to level alts. I did see devs saying they have a lot more older assets than current, so I feel they will add more decor. Need like 100k badges if I want everything. I don't even want to know how many badges I need if I want everything. I feel like it's a lot. I stopped spending time walking badges on like Mog and stuff because at a certain point I'm not keeping up with the pace at which they add things. I don't do enough time walking. It's not my favorite form of content. I don't mind it when it's balanced like this. This dungeon I'm in right now has been the slowest one I've done so far. Why am I being punched? You could probably write your will in a way that puts all your stuff in your casket and then you get to keep it forever. Ancient Egypt style. Had time walkings that fly by and somewhere we wipe, and I don't understand how that can happen. I don't know what's happening to this player, but I'm gonna give them Iron Bark. Some people really love time walking. I know it has devoted fans. Oh yeah, maybe they left Burning Rush on. That could be it. Their feet aren't even on fire. Vault of the Wardens might be the top 3 worst dungeons ever for me. Every time I'm like, okay, I'm done with this, I never have to see this place again, something happens, like remix or time walking or something, and you're never really free. Need to go to my parents to borrow their PC. Spent forever getting the Warglaives. Need to complete the achievement to mog them, but my computer got wrecked. Oh. Oh, man. Enjoy time walking. Maybe not my favorite, but I don't mind when it is the weekly. I almost never do 5 when they want me to do 5 dungeons. The only time that I'm ever doing that to get... Oh, hey, Transmog. The only time I'm ever really doing 5 dungeons to get a raid piece is if it's early in the season and I'm on my main. That's usually the peak of my gearing motivation. I want to put my new stuff on. I have upgrades. So he started at 71. We'll see. You get a good chunk of XP at the end of the dungeon. Would you mind if we refer to you as Queen Hazel as long as you have your crown? You know what, but have at it. That's me. Since moving into this house, I feel a little bit like I'm the queen of my own castle. Thank you, my wish. Mm-hmm. Especially when I'm wearing my wedding rings. My husband got me fancy ones, so whenever I put them on, I'm like, they're the queen's jewels. Are we all good? I think we're all good. I am out of here. Oh, level 74. Yeah. 3.5 levels maybe from 3.5 levels or so. Plus you can get another 200 badges. That's going to actually start to add up. Go back to Shatrath and turn those in. If you wanted to get to Shatrath, probably just Stormwind. Stormwind and then Portal. If you've ever met anyone so suited to the Great Father Winter Hearthstone. No, I have not been using the Darkmoon buff while leveling those tunes. Do I still have a command for it? Yeah. There's a really old clip that fairly accurately encapsulates how I still feel about the Darkmoon Fair. 10%'s just not worth it, man. It's not worth it. Quite the combination of cosmetics and emotes you have there. Wait. Cosmetics and emotes? You lost me. I'm going to Shetreth. This way. Oh, for the teleports, yeah. The hat, the dance, the blizzard. It's all one Hearthstone. It's one combo deal. Oh. Yeah, he's looking good. No need to fix the Mog on the antlers. Those are perfect just the way they are. Yeah. How many badges do I even have? What are we saying here? We're just about ready to wrap up for the day. 4,000 or so. I could buy the pet, but it will set me back on buying future mounts. So all the things I need, yeah, I'm right there with you. About 100k, 98,000. 98,000 badges to get everything. Thoughts on streaming the coming update? No, not gonna happen. I'll be playing it. I'll be talking about it on this stream, but I promised myself when I made this new Animal Crossing file that one of the things I was gonna do is I was gonna keep it just for me, and I'm not gonna show anybody. That one's just a recreational thing, not for work. You know, work. Oh, I have upgrades here too. All right, well, this leveling's not too bad. I bet you another like 1, maybe 2 dungeons and this guy will be level 80. And I think that one that I just did was like slower than normal too. I think it would probably be improved. It's your must watch video. Yeah, it's not a follow-up you can really nail though. Like I did make at least a couple more Animal Crossing videos, and they didn't get nearly the same amount of, it was really a right place at the right time kind of a situation. I don't think I'm about to magically turn into an Animal Crossing creator. Yeah, lightning. Not striking twice. That's okay. Animal Crossing update. Somebody told me the 15th? January 15th. Yeah. Lovely. All right. I am going to wrap up for the day. I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, it's real soon. I'll be back tomorrow with another brand new stream, maybe a little bit more decor crafting. We're getting through it. Appreciate the company. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.